Hello, and thank you for listening in. Today we're going to be walking through the hero for LumApps, a brief demonstration of it, and what configuration options you are given with this item. Get an example of a hero widget. You can see that I'm in the news area within my site, and at the top of the page I have my hero widget welcoming users to this area. I have a brief welcome message as well as a blurb stating what this area is for. I have a couple quick calls to actions that the users may want to go through and look at. And I also have an additional graphical component here and some other graphical elements behind this image as well. Really, with this hero, you can configure a larger size banner to display an image with these shapes behind if you wanted. You also don't have to have them. A general text, a title, and up to 3 calls to actions. Again, this is really just a great way to inform users why they may be on a certain page or within a certain area and provide them with important links within a space. And this is really helpful if you have a landing page and need to provide users with a blurb on why they are in a certain space as well as the quick links they would most likely need in that space. Look at the configuration. You can see that the configuration is broken out into a couple different sections that are easy to use. Of course, when you're done making any changes, please make sure to click Save. The first section within the hero widget configuration is the preview section. This allows you to preview your hero and what it will look like as you're making changes in real time. This way you don't have to go through, save your changes, and publish the page to see what it looks like. You do have a nice preview here that is easy for you to see. Now let's look at the next section, which is the hero section. This is where you actually enter some basic information for your hero. For example, what do you want your hero image to be? That's what this image is displaying here. So what image do you want to show here? Your title is what do you want to display as the title? So we have Welcome to the News Center. And then the description is what displays underneath the title that you can use as a blurb just to provide users some information as to why they're in that certain area or what benefits they can get out of it. Now let's look at the call to action section within the hero widget configuration. You can see here that there are 3 call to action fields for 3 different buttons. Again, those relate to these buttons that show up here within your hero. You can have up to 3, you could have just 1, you could have 2, or you could have none. In this example, you could see that you just simply enter the title here, what do you want to display in your button, and then where do you want that link to take your users. Now let's take a look at the theme section of the hero widget configuration. Your first 2 options are to enable padding vertically and horizontally within your cell. The next couple set of options that you have are around actually the colors and the layouts of the elements that display within your hero. So you could choose to inherit colors from your theme, and that will allow you to pick certain colors that are already predefined in your theme for stuff such as these shape colors, the call to action colors. What is that title text color going to be? If you don't want to inherit colors from your theme, this is where you can enter in your own colors in terms of a hexadecimal code. The other options that you have are to show boxes shadow and display the circles behind an image, right? So in this example, we have the bubble mode selected, which means that we're going to display circles. I could either uncheck it to have them display in front of the image as shown here, or I could check it and again that will display them behind the image. If you don't show boxes shadows, you could see that it does briefly affect or somewhat affect these shapes on the right side. In this instance, we're going to leave it enabled. When you choose a mode, you have the option between bubble, or what we know as a circle, versus rectangles. Rectangles are a little bit larger and take up more space. Again, in this example, we are using a bubble mode. Here's where you can actually define the title text color. So what color do you want this text to be, as well as your paragraph text color. So what do you want this text color to be? The next option is around your call to actions and their theme. So what do you want the border radius to be in terms of pixels, right? I could turn it all the way up and I could have a more rounded button, or I could turn it down and I have more of a square. Each call to action box has its own theming components. So you could set a different box color for each call to action, or as we have shown here, we set all of ours to be this orange color. which you could see listed here for each call to action box color. With those box colors, you can also set the text color for each call to action. So again, that's what's shown here. If you pick circles, you have the option, or bubbles as your mode, you have the option to just control the image bubble radius, right? So you could see here, I can make it smaller, right? And then it's really tiny. Or I could make it larger and I have a larger image. The same is true with what we're calling the top bubble and bottom bubble, right? So these shapes that are behind the image, this top circle and this bottom circle. What do I want that top shape color to be and bottom shape color? And then similar to the image bubble radius, what do I want those bubble radiuses to be, right? I can make them smaller or larger. Now let's look at the fonts section within the hero configuration. With the font, you have control over the title and the paragraph fonts, right? So again, that refers to this title here and this paragraph below it. If you inherit from theme, it will take the font style from your theme. Then you can go ahead and set the size for your title and your paragraph. Otherwise, if you don't want to inherit fonts from your theme, you can set the font for your title, your paragraph, and your calls to action using either our basic font, a Google font, or uploading a custom font. With any of those options, you choose the font type, as well as weight and style and sizing. Now let's look at the last section within the hero widget configuration. This is your migrate configuration section. As seen with other widgets that are created by Social Edge, this does allow you to take the current code that you have for your widget and apply it elsewhere within your site. So for example, let's say I really love this hero that I built here and I could use it something very similar in another area within my site. What I would do is navigate to this hero, edit it. Within my migrate configuration section, I would go to copy the current configuration. I would navigate elsewhere in my site where I want to add a new hero. I can add a new configuration just by pasting in that copied configuration code. And then of course I want to click apply. Thank you for listening in today. For any questions, please feel free to reach out.